Hi, Jack. Hi, baby. Yeah, good boy.
Kim and the boys live behind a 7-foot-high perimeter fence. That's because Jacob and Jackson tend to bolt at any opportunity. Their unpredictable behaviour means they just don't go out.
And Jack, want a snack?
Yes.
Pardon?
Yes, please.
Well, if it's unsafe, I'm not doing it. It's all there is to it, you know.
Use your teeth, remember?
Safety first. That's why I built over the driveway now, because I'm not losing them. It's just, yeah, it's life and death, basically. That's the scary thing, is if they get out, you know, anything could happen. And with no speech, they can't say their name or where they live.
Kim had 5 miscarriages before her boys were born. And despite the challenges, she considers herself blessed.
I wouldn't wish it on anyone, but I'm grateful for what I've got. Definitely grateful. Yeah, they're cool kids. They're just hard work.
8. I win.
Rewarding things is just their joy, their achievements. I mean, goodness, for what is wrong with their bodies, their skeletal body, the lumps and the bumps all over them, they continue to give everything that they do 100%.
He teaches you about finding joy in life and humour and laughing at everything, never giving up, just persevering with things.
I love seeing him live his life, and I love seeing him being the person that he's becoming, because he's great. He's a positive, happy boy who likes to play soccer and basketball.
Are you ready? Everyone?
We're all ready.
Not you, smarty pants.
Annie knew Finn would be born with a heart condition, but it was an unexpected stroke after surgery that caused her severe disabilities.
Come on.
I was in shock. I mean, I was in shock because I had a child who'd just undergone major heart surgery. I was 24 and pretty naive, and it just felt like something else had just been thrown on top of me.
Now you want to see my room, don't you? Do you?
I knew what a stroke was, but I'd only ever associated it with elderly people. It took quite a while to process.
What's that you've got there?
My beard. Do you want to see how it works?
And I can really recall one of the doctors just saying,
Right, you can come out now.
your child really won't have a lot of function.
Baby, don't be horrible.
You just take your baby home and just see how things go. Oh, left hand green.
What one's my left?
Your big one.
Being a young solo parent, Annie felt professionals didn't give her much credit.
Left foot blow.
What is the
I remember I had a run-in with one doctor, and he kind of said to me, well, I'm the doctor and you're the mother, so you'll listen to me. And I walked out of there so angry. I thought, I am never, ever going to be talked to like that again. And so I really educated myself. And with that came the strength to be able to question doctors. And with that became the strength to be able to say, enough. Before I had Finn, I was a bit of a social butterfly.
Come on.
But I made a conscious choice to have a child. I don't think any parent, when they are pregnant, thinks that they're going to have a child born with a disability. But I made that conscious choice, and I love my son. So I can't, as hard as it is sometimes, and it is really hard, I can't walk away from him. So you have to find that strength.
But something was happening. What do you think's happening?
4 cheetahs.
4 snow leopards.
No one could predict how Finn would develop, so Annie threw herself into supporting his learning.
At the moment, I'm learning to go through that process of accepting Finn may never read. And I've spent years and a lot of money, a lot of research and different techniques and different programs of getting Finn to read. And I've finally come to the place now where it may not happen. The only person that can save you is yourself. And and there was no, there, you know, being a single parent is hard work. It's very lonely. You don't have that other person to bounce ideas off. You don't have that other person to pick up the slack. So you just have to dig deep and keep doing it.
Finn's disability means he's prone to seizures. They're controlled by a cocktail of drugs that can make him either volatile or drowsy. It's a constant balancing act.
Okay, let's go. Grandma's waiting.
Like most of these mums, Annie thinks Finn has changed her, for the better.
Finn really grounded me. He made me really take a good long hard look at myself and really look at who I was as a person and what was important. And partying and going out with your friends when you have a child is not important anymore.
Sometimes I think, you know, bring it on. There's nothing that we can't. I mean, Henry last year had prostate cancer. I had cancer a couple of years ago. It's just, God, oh, okay, you've got cancer. Okay, well, we'll deal with that. You know, it's just, you can deal with more than you actually ever imagine you're going to be able to deal with. You can.
I think when you have a child, especially a child with got some extra needs, you become, I don't know if it's more stubborn or just more resilient. You have more perseverance. You're determined that, you know, your child is going to get what they deserve, and that, you know, you try to, I guess you protect them, but also to fight for their rights.
Why do you not want me to win?
When Lise was told her unborn son had spina bifida, it was the last thing she expected.
You do everything the doctors tell you to do. You're healthy. You know, I wasn't drinking or smoking. You know, when you do all those things that you're supposed to do, you don't always expect the opposite to happen, that you're told that you're going to have a child that's got some serious medical conditions.
Doctors initially advised Lise to abort her unborn son.
I remember it like it was yesterday. I went to an obstetrician appointment, just what was supposed to be sort of a regular checkup. So she said that they've found some anomalies with the brain and the spine. They're not sure what it is. It could be spina bifida. They're not sure how severe it is. It was all rattled off to me quite quickly. Then she started saying that if there's chromosomal issues, we can do an amniocentesis, and if there's chromosomal issues, then you can terminate. And, you know, it was all sort of spoken all within a matter of about 5 minutes. And I'm like, what? Excuse me?
This is my room.
And what's on the walls?
Helen Clark and the Prime Minister.
Jaden was born with other internal complications. Lise put pressure on herself to learn as much as she could about his condition and figure out how to best manage his care.
I'd feel guilty if we didn't do his exercises all the time, or we didn't, you know, get him to do what he was supposed to do as part of the program. But then there comes a time where I felt that it wasn't making him happy. We didn't know what the long-term goal or the long-term results would be from doing this program. Would he walk? You know, how more independent would he be? There's always that sense of guilt. If we pushed him a bit more, would he do that? But you have to get to the point where you can only do what you can do, and you just want a happy person.
Ready? Today, Jaden is a happy and outgoing kid with a love of the TV cameras.
We don't see him as disabled. We see him as a child that's got a lot more abilities than he has disabilities.
Is Greg doing it?
I think Greg's got our picture too.
He'll hang out with the wheel blacks. He'll go disabled surfing. He'll just do whatever because he's Jaden. I know people with disabilities are a lot more in the community than obviously in the past as they used to be. And I think they're just as important members of society as anybody else. And if people can see them just leading normal lives and doing great things, then I think it's great.
Bye, everybody!
All these parents know that the responsibility and the worry will last longer than it might have done if their kids didn't have a disability.
I don't know where they're going to get to. You know, they're only so young yet, you know, and they're at school till they're 21, so they've got... Jacob's improved so much, I've got very high expectations. Jackson, well, we'll just have to wait and see.
Okay, sweet. I'll leave you in peace. Part of me thinks, well, maybe we won't have him when he's 21. You know, there's a part that thinks, well,
there'll come a time when we won't have Elliot anymore, and maybe that will be how it should be. The thought of having Elliot when I'm in my 80s and he's in his, God, you know, I don't know how people cope with that at all.
We want to smile in that face.
Yeah, I mean, I worry about discrimination and about people not giving him a fair opportunity. Jaden does have quite a big voice, so I can see him getting into politics or something.
Oh, you're going to use the kisses, are you, to get out?
We don't coddle him or overprotect him because he needs to learn to take risks and just live life.
Hi, honey, how are you?
Closed? Yeah.
I'll just go.
Hopefully, the boys he's with, Spectrum Care, they will just stay together. That's my hope for him for the future. He'll stay at school till he's 21, and then after that, I'm not too sure what will happen. I don't know if Jake would be able to do any form of employment. But I never say never. You never know.
I worry a lot about the future. I worry about my health, my mobility, the fact that I can't do what I used to do, how that's going to affect my kids. I worry about their mobility issues. I live their hopes and dreams, but I do try to just be in the now and keep my energy for now, because if I worry too much about the future, it's quite scary.
Then you have to take your shoes and socks off.
I think that there's a time for me where I'm going to have to learn to start stepping back and let him make mistakes and give him his independence. I would like to see that my son will one day have a job that he loves and lives in a place where he's happy and can go out with his friends like any other young adult and have a good life.
I love being part of today's program, meeting the families. Gorgeous kids, a real testament to their amazing mums. So thanks for sharing your stories. Next week on Attitude. Barry was born here in Oamaru in 1960. His arrival shocked his family and left doctors dumbfounded.
No, thalidomide wasn't known about. I mean, it was only in I think after 4 years that they realised that it was something that thalidomide was the cause of this deformity.
And they said to me, actually, we have got to tell you this too. We don't think he'll live much longer.
I'd like to wish all the mums, including mine, a very happy Mother's Day. See you next week. Attitude was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.